Hello, Bravo bosses. This is the Bravo Investigator podcast. I am your host, Dana, and today I am jumping in with a bonus episode. Today's bonus episode is an interview with Olivia Bateman, Brittany Bateman's daughter from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So, this was such a fun interview to get to do. Olivia's 20 years old now. She wanted to tell her story about her life in her own words, everything from her relationship with her mom to Jared Osmond to getting to be on the show and getting her own confessional. So I hope you enjoy this interview with Olivia Bateman. And I love you, BBs. I will see you next time. Olivia Bateman, welcome to the Bravo Investigator podcast.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
I am so excited to have you here. This is so fun. So, for our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City listeners and watchers, this is Brittany Bateman's daughter, Olivia. Thank you so much for being here. And you made your TV debut last week on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. You had that whole scene with your mom, which honestly people found so incredibly moving. And that's why I really wanted to reach out to you because the show isn't about you, it's about the housewives. And we do get little bits about their families, but we really haven't gotten much of an introduction to Brittany's children. And so I just thought this would be a really great way for you to tell us about you. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, before we get into you, I do want to ask you one question about your mom. Did you hear Andy Cohen on Call Her Daddy last week and saying that he considers your mom the thirstiest celeb that he knows? What did you think about that?
I did see that and I have to agree. And I don't think it has to be a bad thing. But just like look at her social media and the things that she does for views. I mean, she's putting in the work. She
Right.
has like in public, she has no shame. And honestly, I think it's admirable. Whenever I'm in public, I feel like I'm constantly like worrying about what other people are thinking about me, but she doesn't feel that at all. And it's
No,
truly
you see
impressive.
her like out there like singing on escalators and stuff, and she lives very free.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably really freeing for her. So kudos to her.
Can't be mad at it. Well, what's it like for you having a mom that's a real housewife? Like, how did your life really change when that happened?
Well, when she first got the job, I was honestly super against it.
Oh,
I
really?
didn't really
Why?
understand. Well, I just felt like my whole life would be on blast and that I would never have any privacy. And
Mm,
then I kind of realized that I don't care about that. I kind
okay.
of was like, honestly, like it's kind of better to just like everyone knows everything and I can just live my life. And so when she first got the job, I went as far as deleting my social media. Like I was like,
Wow.
I want to be off the grid. I don't want anybody to know who I am. But now I'm so happy for her. And I think she is so happy in her life. And I think that's incredible. I really think that she was made for this and that her whole life she's been working for this. So,
Well, I love how positive you are about it. That's amazing.
yeah,
And so, were you a Housewives watcher before your mom went on the show?
I wasn't. I I mean, I don't really watch TV, like movies, yes, but I've recently gone into it and now I understand the hype. I understand why everyone loves it because I like look forward to it every week. Like it's like torture waiting from Tuesday to Tuesday for the new episode. I'm like, oh, and what? So I understand it, but I definitely didn't watch it before.
And I'm sorry, it's hilarious. Like, it's a really funny
Oh my
show. To
God.
have a whole fight about farts, like, I'm dying.
Literally. And it's so fun watching my mom like get feisty and
Yeah.
fight. It's like, I don't know, it's like weird. I don't think I'll ever get used to it, like seeing her on the screen.
Yeah, it must be so crazy. Okay, well, I want to start with, talking a little bit more about you and your background and stuff. So, we just don't have a lot of information about like how you grew up and like we know that your parents got divorced, but do you remember life when your parents were married? Can you sort of walk us through, yeah, what life was like when you were a family, when it was your mom, your dad, you and your sister?
I'll be honest, I don't remember a lot from my childhood. I'm not really sure why, because I mean, I think eight or nine when they got divorced. So
Okay.
you'd think that I remember more, but I I mean, I can't remember more than just it was a happy time. And I mean, like near the end when they started fighting, it got pretty rough. But I do know that like I had a good childhood. I may not
Yeah.
remember it, but I know I had a good childhood.
Yeah, you must have like certain feelings or certain like memories or even just
Yeah,
like even probably sounds or smells that remind you of your
yeah.
childhood and make you
Like
smile, right?
things will spark old memories.
Right. And like when you said that they had started fighting, those are kinds of things that you do remember as a child?
I definitely
Yeah,
remember that more. Like I
sure.
remember, like I know I had a good childhood, but the things that were more traumatizing for me, I remember more, which
Right.
is unfortunate, but
Do you know why they got a divorce?
mm-mm.
No.
I've definitely, I mean, I was young, so obviously they didn't tell me then, and now I don't think it benefits me to know. And so I don't want to know details, and I would
Yeah.
rather just live in my own fantasy and not know.
Sometimes it's for the best. So
Yeah,
do
honestly.
you, right. And then so what happened after that? Did you then move in with your mom for a bit until she remarried, or just like what happened after the divorce?
So it was custody was 50-50.
Okay.
So it was like every 2 days we would switch houses. And it was 50-50 up until I was, I think, 16, and I moved in 100% with my dad.
Okay. So you were 16 when that happened. And how old was your sister?
My sister lived with my dad since she was 14, and she's 4 years older than me. So
Okay. Okay.
basically, yeah. So my
Oh,
dad,
you're the younger one. I thought you were
yes,
the older one. Okay. So
no,
you're the younger one. Okay.
uh-huh, I'm the baby. So my
Okay.
dad basically raised my older sister like throughout her teenage years, and then when I was 16, moved in with my dad.
Okay. And so was there a period of time where you were living with your mom and her new husband that she had remarried?
Yeah, so from age 12 to 16. I got married when I was 12, and then I lived 50-50 for 4 years.
Okay. And how did you feel when she got remarried? Did you want her to get remarried, or was it something that you were super against? Do you remember how you felt at the time?
I do. So I kind of hated all of the guys that she dated, and I think it's because I felt protective over her. I didn't really care who my dad dated. I was like, yeah, I like them all. They all bring me gifts. But but all the guys my mom dated, I really hated. And so when she got engaged in a Target, and one of my best friends happened to be there, but they didn't want to tell me yet because they knew how I was going to react. So they had to like tell my friend, like, don't tell Olivia. And then later that day, my mom checked me out of school, and she took me to this bakery restaurant called The Chocolate. And I could kind of sense that something was wrong
Hmm.
because she's like, checking me out of school, treating me to candy. And so she eventually told me that she was engaged, and I immediately ran to the bathroom, locked myself in there, and just started bawling.
Hmm.
Because I hated the rest of her boyfriends, but this one specifically, I really didn't like, and I didn't want her to get married to. So, yeah, I was not happy about it.
Can you talk about why you really particularly didn't like this one?
I I think I have really good intuition about people. Like basically when I first meet them, I can kind of tell gut feeling whether or not they're going to be a positive or negative in my life. And so my gut feeling was just telling me I don't like this guy.
Hmm. Well, how much time did you spend with him? Because that's when they got engaged, right? So were you spending any time with him while they were dating?
Yeah, he was over a lot. He was over a lot. And
Hmm.
I I think something I didn't like about who my mom was dating is they often tried to be like my dad,
Hmm.
And so I'm like, I already have a dad, like I don't need another, they kind of like take that step too far.
Right.
Um, so yeah, he was around a lot. He was staying the night. He was, kind of acting like part of our family already.
Right. And is that, I guess, when you started to see that shift in your mom from being like really hands-on to maybe spending a lot more time with the men in her life and less with you? Or is there a particular moment in time that you saw that shift happen?
I think that when she started dating, I saw the shift. And
Hmm.
honestly, it was really confusing for me to like see all sorts of guys come in and out of our house and like wake up in the morning and a guy's making breakfast and then 24 hours later, different guys making breakfast. Like I think to a little girl, it was really confusing.
Hmm.
She said before that she just felt like she needed to have a mom and a dad and a family, and like that's the family that she wanted. And so she was definitely working for that and
Hmm.
focused on her dating a lot. So I think probably that's when it started.
And then did you ever talk to her about that? Were you like, hey, like I really am feeling like you're pulling away from us, you're not spending as much time with us, or were you just sort of too young to be able to articulate that?
Yeah, I definitely never said that to her directly, and I wish that I was mature enough to do so because it could have, I don't know,
You were a
saved a lot
child,
of
you know?
Yeah. I'm not beating myself up over that.
Hmm.
I know I did my best, and as I got older and I started to say like, hey, if this continues, I'm gonna move in with my dad, and nothing changed. So I moved in with my dad. The second I moved, I think she kind of realized that she has lost both my older sister and me. And so that's when she started to call 60 times a day and show up at my work and like putting in more effort once she had already lost us. But up until then, yeah, it just kind of got worse and worse and wasn't getting any better.
Besides her, you know, not being as present of a parent, was there any other shifts or differences that you noticed in her once she got remarried?
Um, I think she started to care a lot more about her appearance than before. Like, I think I wasn't very used to that, especially because her ex-husband cared so much about that. Like, he would constantly make these jabs at her confidence, and I think that it would really was doing some damage. So that
Yeah.
was just like hard to see her constantly be so hard on herself. But
Hmm.
besides that, I don't think no other changes come to mind.
You know, there's something that I think about that Heather Gay said in the first season about, and I'm just to play devil's advocate, and I'm not a
Mhm.
Mormon, and
Oh
I'm
my
just
gosh.
like curious about the culture, but like Heather had said something about in the Mormon religion, it is very important to place the man above all else. Like, first comes your husband, and then your children, and then yourself, right? And it was something that she used to always say about your mom in terms of offering her grace, because it was probably a mentality that was like pushed into her brain. Regardless, you are still her child and deserved her attention. But does that play into your mind at all? Is that something that you've ever sort of thought about, the cultural aspect and how it sort of forces that familial thing that your mom really, really wanted?
I definitely could see how for some people they grew up being taught that. I don't think it's a good excuse for my mom because my grandparents, so her parents, were like incredible parents and always
Hmm.
put the kids first. Like she grew up with such an amazing example, and like they taught her that
Hmm.
children are the priority.
Okay.
And so I know that she likes to put it on the religion, but I'm like, ugh, I think it's BS.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
like you didn't grow up with that, and so.
Yeah. Well, what's your relationship with the Mormon church? Are you active in the church? Have you ever been?
No. So
No.
my parents both grew up Mormon. They met at BYU and then they both left the church before they got married. So they raised me and my sister as atheists.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so neither of
Nice.
us have ever been in any sort of religion. And then my mom, just a few years ago, got rebaptized into the Mormon church.
Okay. Is
Yeah,
that
but
common
I've
for
never,
people to do? Like when
no.
they get a little bit older? No.
Mm-mm. Normally, like once they leave, they leave. I mean, yeah, it can be common for people who have never heard of the church to like convert,
Yeah.
but for like a member to grow up as Mormon and then leave and then come back, that's pretty unusual.
Okay. And like your friendship circle, are most of your friends Mormon or not really? Like, yeah, they are.
Yes. I mean, as I get older, no, because a
Hmm.
lot of, my friends growing up who are Mormon have left the church,
Hmm.
but like in elementary school and middle school, everybody was. And it was tough because I mean, like I was a really good kid, but there were parents who wouldn't let their kids hang out with me because I wasn't Mormon.
Really?
And like
Wow.
I
So there's
kind of,
even those divisions within its own culture. That's
yeah,
interesting.
which I think is like, first of all, horrible for a parent to say. Because I mean, the kids would tell me, my mom won't let me hang out with you because you're not Mormon.
Like you're
So
the
I,
devil.
yeah. So I definitely kind of to fit in acted like I was Mormon and
Hmm.
like I would go to church with my friends, honestly, just so that they would accept me and I wouldn't feel like such a loser in their eyes. And
Oh,
then that growing up like that kind of stuck with me. So although I'm not Mormon and I don't believe in the religion, like I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't even swear. So like
I
I'm
do.
not, yeah. I'm not Mormon, but I definitely think that those traits of a Mormon, they're in me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to talk about your time on the show because a couple weeks back you had that amazing scene and everything. So I'm so curious how that ended up happening. Like, did your mom ask you to film that scene with you? Did production, like, how did that all come to be?
So her first season, season 5, they asked me to film, and this is when I was still like so scared of the show.
Hmm.
And I mean, I was definitely, it was way more dramatic in my mind than it actually was. And so I told them, like, no, I won't film. No, I won't film. And then season 6 comes around, and I did meet with one of the producers, just kind of like to hear them out. And, I kind of told them basically my whole life story. And I don't know, after that meeting, I kind of was like, I felt really good about it because they told me, they're like, if there's anything you say that you regret, we'll take it out.
Really?
We will like no, I mean, okay. Let
Because
me
I'm like, would
reword
they
that.
do
They
that for the other
out.
ladies?
But they basically just said like they're here to protect me
Okay.
and they won't. I mean, I don't, it's probably different for the housewives than like the kids in the situation, but they were like, we understand that this is a very raw subject for you and this is hard to talk about and we're here for you and we'll protect you. And so like they didn't say that they're going to take anything out, but just saying that they're on my side.
Hmm.
And it kind of made me realize that I don't have anything to worry about. And so then we set up the meeting at the coffee shop with my mom. And yeah,
Can I ask if you got paid for that? I'm kind of curious.
no,
They don't.
that's,
I mean, they don't pay the husbands. They usually don't pay
yeah,
any of the friends. I was just curious.
yeah.
But you
I
ended
never
up
even
getting,
asked, so I don't know. I have a
yeah.
full-time job. I'm good.
But you had this confessional and you had this amazing confessional look with this beautiful blue dress. Can you tell us where you got the dress? Can you tell us how you came up with the look? Did you spend a lot of time putting it together?
So that's actually funny. I was on a flight to Mexico and they texted on the flight. They said, "Hey, we would love to have you come and do a confessional look on the day you get back."
Oh
So
my
I
gosh.
literally I was like, I had 12 hours back home to like figure everything out. And so like my hair wasn't done and my nails weren't done. And so I like was stressing all of my trip to Mexico. I got back and I had just that night to figure everything out. So I like got my nails done, got my hair done. The next morning, literally 10 minutes before my confessional, I went to a mall in Salt Lake City, went to Dillard's, found like the first dress I could find, didn't even try it on, just bought it. Just bought it and was like, I'm just gonna trust, just
Yeah.
gonna have faith. And it turned out great. I mean, I'm so
Yeah.
happy, but it
No,
was
everyone loved your look.
so
But like you were so open with your mom in that scene and was like that stressful for you? Were you nervous about being that open? I mean, you hadn't been on the show before and then you're confronting your mom in this really like scary way. What was that like for you?
weirdly, it came really naturally.
It felt like it
And maybe
did.
it's just because I mean, I grew up, my mom's an actress, and so I grew up like since before I could speak, I was in auditions. So I've grown up doing stuff behind cameras and like musical theater and movies and all that stuff. And so that part didn't make me nervous. And then truly, I just forgot that we were filming and I just said all the things that I've always wanted to say to her face. And I felt empowered doing so.
Hmm.
And honestly just everything rolled off the tongue and I like kind of blacked out too. Like after I
Really?
got in the car, I'm like, oh my gosh, like what did I even say? Like I hope I wasn't that mean or like that harsh or
Oh, that's so sweet. I mean, like, it's sweet that like in those moments, like there's all these things you want to say, but at the end of the day, you really care about your mom's feelings and you don't want to
Yeah,
harm her. So
100%. I think that's what I mean. A lot of people tell me, like, why are you even trying to have a relationship with her? Like, why even try? But I just don't think they understand that, like, I really love her and care about her. And that I don't think that'll ever go away.
I think even with people with estranged relationships with their parents, like I am estranged from my mom. We haven't spoken in a year, but can I for sure say that we will never speak again? No, I can't say that for certain because there is that element of family where you do keep coming back to them, even if they do really shitty things to you,
Yeah.
because they're your parents, right? There's that different level of forgiveness, I guess, that you just give to your family members. And that's one of the reasons I felt sort of like I could resonate with you and I had that connection to you because I wish I could have those moments where I could speak like that to my mom. Unfortunately, with my mom, she doesn't remember anything. So if something happened yesterday and I called her on it today, she just doesn't remember. So there's almost like no point in having those types of conversations with her.
Yeah.
But like, was there any follow up with your mom after that? Like you said, you felt so bad. Did she text you after? Did you text her? Did you have like any more conversations like that afterwards?
We actually did. I was feeling really guilty because I kind of felt like I was being watching it back. I'm like, okay, I wasn't being mean. I was just
No.
being like not letting her off the hook. But at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, like I think I was way too mean. So I called her. I think this was the next day. I'm like, hey, like I'm really sorry if I said anything that hurts your feelings. And she basically just said like, no, I think our conversation was really good and I have a lot to think about. And that was it. That was the end of it. So that settled all my nerves. I'm like, okay, like I didn't make things worse and that we can actually move forward with trying to have a relationship.
And you were asking her, and it's something we've all sort of been asking ourselves too. Why does she prioritize men above all else? And you said, like, I think you need to figure that out. Why do you think that she does? Or has she figured it out?
I think with me personally, anytime I notice that I'm thinking about a man's opinion ever, I notice that it's an insecurity thing. That I want them to like me and I want them to be attracted to me or be infatuated with me because I'm feeling insecure about myself.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that honestly is a good guess of why she feels the need to like
Well, have there been
constantly
any
be.
changes since? I mean, like you had that big conversation. She said she really understood it. You said she's sort of working on it. So, what has your relationship been like since you filmed the show?
You'll see more of it play out throughout
Okay.
the season. And so, I would say that things are better, but things still aren't perfect. I think we
Hmm.
still run into problems and we still have arguments and we still sometimes go no contact and then we're trying again. So things aren't perfect, but I definitely think that they're moving in the right direction.
With regards to filming, though, I had a question because your mom was on the Bio Files last week, and she said something like, because of Bronwyn, you and your sister can't film anymore. Can you clarify the situation with the babysitter or something? I was really confused by this.
I would love to clear this up
Okay.
because my mom keeps bringing it up when we've already talked it out. We've already figured out like where all the miscommunications were. So basically, it was just a long telephone game that got passed down to me and my sister, and the information was wrong. I mean,
Okay.
as things happen, we were being told that our mom was saying horrible things about us on season 5 and that she was, blaming her divorce on us and she was saying we don't talk to her because we're jealous of her. All of this was not true. But what's most important to recognize is the people it was coming from, the people who told us were not doing the wrong thing. They were just like, "Hey, we're looking out for you. This is what we heard. Like it's not necessarily true. This is just the rumor is that these things were said on the show. So if it comes out, like I just want to warn you." So it's like don't shoot the messenger. They didn't do
Hmm.
anything wrong. They did the correct thing. If I heard that stuff about somebody I love and I care about, I would tell them. Just so if it does air, that it's not like a shock. So that my mom loves to say that Bronwyn's the reason we don't talk to her when that's never, ever, ever been true. Ever. Like
Okay.
we were already not talking and estranged when we got this information. Did it make things a little bit worse? Yeah. And it made us not want to film because I was like, oh my gosh, like we sound like horrible people. We sound like we're like little monsters and brats. And so, like, yeah, it made us not want to film. It made our relationship a little bit worse, but it's not the reason.
Okay.
You can't, it's like she's pointing fingers to everybody else who had nothing to do with it. So,
Okay. Got it. And then
yeah.
your sister, like we haven't really heard much about her. What is her name actually? Are you allowed to tell me her name?
Her name's Taylor.
Okay. And
And
does Taylor ever
a
want to
lot
film or
more,
has she been asked or?
she has been asked, but she's a lot more private. She lives in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
She's living her dream life in Hawaii. Like, she is so off the grid and just like, I mean, she is in full support of me and my mom. Like, she watches every Tuesday. We talk and call all the time, but she's doing her own thing and she's
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, she doesn't want anything to do with it.
Well, is she still your support system when it comes to, your relationship with your mom? Because I can assume out of anyone in the world, she gets it.
Oh, 100%. I never have to feel guilty about ranting to her about it because she is the one person who knows
Right.
exactly how I'm feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her
Does
and my
she?
dad. Like, I talked to my dad about a lot about it too. And
Hmm.
like my dad really wants me and my mom to have a good relationship. Like, he is in full support of that. And so he's really good to talk to because I know that he understands that it's good for me to have a relationship with her. Like, I, as
Hmm.
a person, need that in my life to be fully happy. And so
Right.
he's great to talk to about it because he gives really good advice.
That's really nice. And so, like, if you had the perfect ideal relationship with your mom, what would that look like to you?
I think I would want somebody, a good person to talk to. Like, I think sometimes, like, with my breakup recently, sometimes it's kind of hard to talk to her because she relates everything back to Jared. Like, it's like we can't go 30 seconds without talking about him, which is frustrating. And I've told her that this frustrates me and I've seen she's working on it. Like, she'll catch herself. Like, I'll say something about my ex-boyfriend and she'll relate it to Jared and I'll just like give her a look and she's like, "Oh, right, 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 right. Back to you." So, I would love somebody that I can come to with those kind of problems because some things are awkward to talk about with my dad. As much as I
Absolutely.
love him and I know that he's there for me and he'll listen, I don't think either of us want to talk about certain things. So, I think just having her as a support system and somebody I'm comfortable with would be amazing. And I don't
Yeah.
know if I would want anything more. Like, I feel like no matter how much we work on our relationship, there's a lot of things, and I think I will always want to keep her at arm's length and just not let myself become vulnerable again.
I think that's really normal to sort of continue to have your walls up when you've been hurt so many times. I think, yeah, that's just sort of natural. Before we hit record though, and we were talking about your ex-boyfriend, you did have sort of, you were able to connect a little bit more with your mom there. And I was wondering if you want to chat about that a little bit because you sort of had maybe a little bit more of an understanding of where she was coming from when it came to the whole like going back to someone or just feeling that comfort with the person who hurt you almost in a way. So like, do you want to speak a little bit to how now you feel a little bit more of a connection to your mom in that regard?
Yeah. So I broke up with my boyfriend exactly a week ago, and every single night since, I've had to like talk myself out of texting him or calling him or telling him to come over just because it's like I know I made the right decision, but it's like my body misses him. It's weird to see somebody every single day and every single night and then no contact.
Yeah.
So gave me a lot more empathy for my mom because I understand where she's coming from with the breaking up and getting back together over and over. Before I'm like, it's so easy, just delete his number. Like just delete his number and then never talk to him again and let yourself grieve and move on. But now that I've been through it myself, I'm like, okay, I understand why that is so hard because it would be so much easier. Like my life right now would be so much better if I got back together with him. It would just, I wouldn't have to feel this pain of like, I'm never going to see him again. I
Yeah.
know that like as time goes on, I'm not going to regret it, but I like, yeah, I really feel for my mom now. And I
It's also
understand.
yeah, it's also hard when they keep coming back too, right? Because if like
Yeah.
Jared keeps pushing himself into her life, it's also doubly hard to,
Yeah,
get rid of them, right? But I
for
do actually
sure.
want to ask you about Jared for a second. So like,
Yeah.
to us who don't live in Utah, who is Jared Osmond? Is he really that famous? Is he well known to everyone in Utah? Is there really an Osmond Lane?
I think everybody knows Donny Osmond, Donny and
Right.
Marie Osmond, and they live like they used to live just down the street. Like they're kind of, they're very involved in their community. But Donny Osmond's nephew, I mean, okay, in Jared's defense, I don't think he's ever been the one to claim that he's famous. I think it's always just been my mom mostly.
Oh, okay.
But like, I don't know. I've never heard of Jared before they started dating.
Okay. And like, what do you think of him as a person? Did you ever like spend any quality time with him?
I have, yes. I think first of all, he's done a lot of nice things for me. Like my car broke down and I was like, texting and calling everybody I could. So my mom called Jared. He came and like saved the day. But I don't think all of those nice things that he's done for me cancel out all the bad things he's done to my mom. I
Right.
don't I see those as separate things. I
Hmm.
can like him as Olivia, but as Brittany's daughter, I don't like him and I don't want
Yeah.
them together.
Why don't you want them to be together? And like, because from what we see mostly, it's just a lot of getting back together and breaking up. We don't see a lot of the intricacies in their relationship. So, like, why do you think he's not a good fit for your mom?
I think I think he knows that she has some insecurity and I think he knows that he can basically do whatever he wants and she'll always come back. And so it really is like the show doesn't see the half of it. The on
Right.
and off is several times a week for 2 years.
Wow.
I've like had to tell my mom, like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sick of hearing about it. Like, it's just, you never know where they stand. It's like every 24 hours it's flipping. And so I just want her to be with somebody who is stable and who makes her grow as a person and somebody who is, like matches her. And yeah, I just don't think that they're a good fit. I'm not
Do you
saying
think,
that they're both bad people, but like I just don't think they're good together.
do you think he really loves her or do you think he's really around for the camera time?
I don't think it's the camera.
No. Okay.
I mean, he's filmed a lot, but I think he likes to actually blame the show on their bad
All the men
relationship.
do.
Yeah, which I'm like, hey,
If he
I
sues
think we're
Bravo
pointing
next week,
fingers.
I won't be surprised.
Yeah, so he definitely does not like the show, but I mean, he was on it so much, so I don't know. I think
It really has.
maybe he says he doesn't like it when he really does. I don't know. Because I mean, nobody forced him to film. Like that was his choice and his free will. So
And there was like this thing last year where he had set up this time on like this Twitter account where he was answering questions for a period of time. It was called like Mary Cosby's fan page, and he was, yeah, keeping
yeah,
busy. So,
I saw that. I saw that, and he said some pretty mean stuff about my mom.
yeah.
That was definitely the cause of a breakup. But
Well, what is next for you, Olivia? Are you in college? Are you working? Like, what are your big plans coming up?
so I'm working full time.
Okay.
I have two jobs, and so that pretty much takes up a lot of my time. But I've been honestly, this year I've traveled a lot. I've really
Ooh,
been like focusing on like knowing it's okay to take time off of work and travel. Um, so I took this last semester off of school, but then I'll start again in the spring.
okay.
So yeah, my mom likes to brag that I'm a math major in school. So I'm still
And
doing that.
amazing. And what do you want to do with that? Like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I think with my degree, I want to, because it's applied mathematics, and so it can be very broad. It can do a lot of things, and I think I would want to go into teaching. So like teaching later high school or college, just because that's like the math that I really enjoy when it starts to get difficult and like a challenge for me.
Awesome. And do you have any big travel plans coming up, or did you go anywhere recently that you want to mention that you loved?
I'm going to BravoCon,
Me
which
too.
I'm
I'm
so
gonna be
excited
there.
for. Wait, are you going?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll
Oh, yeah.
talk about that later.
It's
We'll
gonna
meet
be
up.
so amazing. It's gonna be really
I
fun.
don't know anything about it, really. I've never heard of it until
You
this
never
year.
heard of it?
No.
You
No.
know what? It's only existed since like 2019, and they've only done like three of them because then there was COVID as well. And I've never been either, but I'm really excited. It's
Okay.
gonna be fun. There's gonna be like I think it's just going to be a great time for people to just like meet each other, and intermingle. And it's going to be a way for the fans to be able to encounter the Bravo Lebs in a way they never have before. Because like what I hear is you just go for a drink at night and Lisa Barlow's sitting right next to you, telling you everything
I
about
love this
her,
stuff.
entire life. So it
Yeah.
seems like it's just going to be a really wild, fun time. So I'm
No,
excited.
I'm so excited. And I've officially met all the housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay. And who's your
And
favorite?
Angie, I
Okay.
love
Well,
Angie. Angie just seemed the most like I wasn't talking to a celebrity. I was
okay.
talking to a person.
Okay.
Super
Cute.
down to earth, super kind. I love all of them. Is the funny thing. They were all so nice to me. So
That's so
nice.
great. Are you friends with
Differently
any of
from
the
my mom,
housewives'
but
kids? Yeah.
so I haven't met any of the kids yet.
Okay.
No,
And
I
like, are
probably
there
will at
any?
Bravo,
Yes,
but
you definitely will.
yeah.
And like, would you have your eye on a show like Next Gen NYC, or would you ever want to do a reality show spin-off? Like, is that something that's like would catch your eye?
Well, first of all, New York is my favorite city in the entire world. I like, in the movies when they like go to New York and they're like,
Yeah.
I'm home. Like that's me every time I go. I get my backpack and I speed walk and I'm like pretending to be a local every time. So, and I love the show Next Gen New York City. I think it's incredible and so well done.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if the opportunity comes, I'm gonna say yes because I had so much fun. I mean, okay, I shouldn't say so much fun because it was tough and it was hard and it took a lot of self-reflection. But overall, looking back, filming for Salt Lake City was such a good experience and incredible. And so, yeah, I think if the opportunity
That would
knocks,
be
then
so amazing. Or there's always mom talk, right? Right in the hometown of
yeah,
Utah.
I just gotta like have a few kids and then I can get
You can join
on.
them.
Secret Lives
Well,
and Mormon Wives. And
I
maybe I
know
should.
you maybe you could start your own. Well, I know you said you're not a big TV watcher, but like, what is your favorite reality TV show if you could name one?
That is a great question. I love Love Island.
Good
I
one.
mean, I've like recently gotten into it because season 6 went super viral, and so I was like, oh, I'll give this a shot. Love Island. I could never be on it. No way.
Just,
I'm just like, oh my gosh, like the all the challenges they have to do.
ugh, yeah.
They have no, they're not embarrassed and they're confident. Oh my gosh, I could never. So Love Island, and then honestly, Next Gen is probably one of my favorites.
It's a good one. And they might be doing an LA one, so who knows? They may end up doing them everywhere. So
Yeah, let's bring one to Salt Lake.
let's get Andy and a camera, right? All right. Well, Olivia, thank you so much for being here with me today. Where can people follow you if they want to see what you have going on in the world?
So all of my socials are Olivia Brick Bateman, and yeah, just TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't post a lot, and so not
That's
maybe I'll
okay.
start. I don't know.
Maybe you'll start. Thank you so much, Olivia.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Bravo Investigator podcast in partnership with Hurrdat Media.
You can watch full-length videos on Herda Entertainment's YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at The Bravo Investigator. If you enjoy the show, please leave me a 5-star review. Love you, BBs. See you next time.
A Huda Media Production.